There are seasons in your life when heaven feels silent. Not peaceful, not calm. Silent. No applause, no doors opening, no sudden breakthroughs, no visible reward. Just obedience, just effort, just showing up every day when nobody's watching. And in that silence, your thoughts get louder. You start measuring your life against people who seem ahead. You start questioning your pace. You start wondering if you missed your moment. But what if the silence is not delay? What if the silence is development? Ecclesiastes 3:1 tells us that there is a season for everything. And in verse 7, it says there is a time to keep silence and a time to speak. Most people want the speaking season. Very few embrace the silent one. But the silent season is where strength is built. Jesus said in Matthew 6:6, "When you pray, go into your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen." Close the door. Close the noise, close the pressure, close the comparison. Because what God builds in private must be protected from public interference. Joseph received a dream in Genesis 37, a dream of elevation, a dream of influence. But dreams are easy. Process is hard. His brothers betrayed him. He was sold, falsely accused, thrown into prison. And Genesis 39 says the Lord was with Joseph. Not after the breakthrough, in the confinement. Some of you think God is only with you when things are visible, but he is most active when things are hidden. Promotion without preparation creates pressure your character cannot hold. Noah built an ark before rain existed. Imagine the ridicule. Imagine the silence of years with no sign of clouds. But Hebrews 11:7 tells us Noah moved in reverent fear and built anyway. He built without evidence. That is what silence looks like. You are building without evidence. You are fixing habits no one sees. You are disciplining your thoughts when no one knows the battle. You are choosing integrity when compromise would be easier. You are resisting impulses in private. You are rebuilding your life in rooms with no witnesses. And because nobody sees it, you start questioning it. Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up." Due season is not emotional, it is earned. Silence builds endurance, and endurance builds capacity. Proverbs 4:23 says, "Above all else, guard your heart. Guard it from comparison. Guard it from premature exposure. Guard it from voices that do not understand your assignment." David was anointed king in 1 Samuel 16. But after the oil was poured, he went back to shepherding, back to sheep, back to isolation. Anointed, but not elevated. Chosen, but not visible. Imagine knowing you were called, but still waking up to routine. That field built his patience. That solitude built his courage. That silence built his identity. Even Jesus, the Son of God, spent 30 years in preparation before 3 years of ministry. 30 years unseen. 30 years developing obedience, discipline, wisdom. Luke 2:52 says he grew in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man. Growth is gradual. Silence allows gradual growth. You want sudden. God builds steady. A seed is buried before it breaks the surface. And if you dig it up every week to check its progress, you kill it. Stop digging up what God is growing. Psalm 37:7 says, "Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him." Stillness is not weakness. It is power under control. Patience is not passivity. It is disciplined faith. Colossians 3:23 says, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord." You are not building for likes. You are not building for applause. You are building for alignment. Some of you are frustrated because nobody notices your progress. Nobody sees the early mornings. Nobody sees the gym sessions. Nobody sees the studying. Nobody sees the therapy. Nobody sees the prayers. But God sees. And when God decides the season has shifted, Revelation 3:8 reminds us that when he opens a door, no one can shut it. When the door opens, you won't need to announce it. When the breakthrough comes, you won't need to defend it. When the harvest shows up, you won't need to explain it. Because what was built in silence will speak without noise. Stop forcing visibility. Stop rushing the reveal. Stop comparing your chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 10. Move in silence. Build in silence. Train in silence. Forgive in silence. Heal in silence. Develop in silence until it's done. Because when it's done, it will not be hype. It will be harvest. It will not be noise. It will be undeniable. If this confirms your season, if you are in a building phase right now, type silent in the comments. Not for attention, but as a declaration. Because you are not being delayed. You are being developed. Kingdom Ascension.